It's time to talk about my new favorite show, and boy, am I excited.
This seems like every week there's something new, and it's almost like the killer of old tropes from other shows on Bravo. The things that we hated the most that dragged on forever and ever and ever don't seem to do that in the show. The things that really don't need much attention actually seem to drag on a little bit, and I didn't see it coming, but it's always a nice little refresher.
Because they're doing it better.
To say it like that, yeah, they're doing it a lot better.
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be.
Oh man, it's 8 o'clock.
And so that'll make it a.
I don't need the spotlight. I shine just fine.
Hi, I'm Karma, and yes, I am a bitch.
Brav Bros.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Brav Bros, your favorite podcast from the bros for everybody, for whoever wants to listen. I'm your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only. I was going to do Shotter again, but that's again Scottish. Shooter Magooter, what's up, dude?
I think I'm going to have to torment you and say that we have to change our name in 3 months just so you finally get the intro right or the outro. I don't know what it is, but you always have trouble with one of them, which means you're actually going to kill the outro today. So you got that to look forward to.
Yeah, that's true. That's exciting. So good call there. But yeah, I caught up. I watched both episodes, the one I missed, and then obviously the one we're about to recap. And this show is a delight. It's so good, this cast. I think I've narrowed it down. The authenticity, one, and two, their relationships. They're all so close and they're all so intertwined with each other's lives. And I think that that's something that we don't see on a lot of shows anymore, is that validity. Like, this is an actual friend group. They've had ups and downs. Obviously, Shaw's fell apart because there was too much drama between them, but they have since mended those fences. But it makes for such better TV because we've watched what, 4 episodes, 5, somewhere in there.
I think.
Right. And I am so much more invested in this cast than I've ever been in a show after 5 episodes. And that's saying a lot.
That is really saying a lot. And you already mentioned it. The main pitfall, it's almost like Icarus flying a little too close to the sun. We have them very intertwined in each other's lives, and it makes for incredible drama. Even some of the stuff that happens, and we'll talk about it specifically in this episode. I guess we kind of will, kind of a bridge from the last episode anyway, with Dennis showing up. It's like, why in the fucking world would you invite Dennis to come on this trip? At the same time, it's going to make for great TV, but it could also be a detriment to your relationship and your working relationship with him moving forward. But also, it's going to make great TV, but it could also be the downfall of your relationship with this guy and maybe the relationship with other people sitting at this table, which then could lead to the show completely blowing up in our faces. But again, it's making for great TV. So they need to find that. And maybe, the hiatus for a few years allowed them to search their souls a little bit. Like, hey, if we want to stay on TV, we can't do too much. But I don't know if these people have it in them to not do too much. And that's also, again, making for great TV.
It's like they have to ride that line of, this is going to be phenomenal television, but we run the risk of, like you said, going too far and the show falling apart because the damage is irreparable. Like, that's what this show is currently doing. And I think that's what they did on Shaw's as well, and why it was so good for so long. And then we saw the downfall of that simply because you had just giant rifts that they could not come back from. So yeah, the potential pitfall of this show is that it's too good because it's too real, and then it's going to fall apart.
It's like they're playing a game where one of them has the trigger to detonate a nuke in the middle.
Yeah.
And they don't know who has it, but also the person who has it has amnesia and doesn't remember that they have it. So anybody could actually be culpable for the downfall. We don't know who it's going to be yet, but it's going to get to that point where it's like, all right, we went over the line. Are we going to come back across the line and be normal? Or are we just going to stay out there? And I think if they ride that line until the end of the season and then they cross the line a little bit, let it all air out at the reunion, that's going to work. And it fixes a big problem that we have with Bravo recently, which is reunions are fucking terrible. So if we have that where things are completely unresolved at the end of the season and we just let these people air it out with a little bit of intervention from Andy at a reunion, and it seems like things kind of go by the wayside, we'll be good. That's a good show for me.
So you're saying that this show is more or less like the Cold War, just everyone with their finger
It
over
pretty
the
much
button.
is, yeah. Yeah, somebody's got their finger on the button, we don't know where it is. Submarines are somewhere near Cuba. I guess they're near the valley. We've got submarines near the valley, but,
Mhm.
they just have to make sure they don't cross that line or it's gonna be an issue. It's gonna be
Right.
a, global issue.
I know, but for now, oh man, for now we soldier on, and my God, this is fantastic. Dennis showing up. No, it's a terrible idea, Gigi. Like, what on earth would possess you to
It
do
but
this
here's the thing, this is with Gigi, and we talked about this now for the first, like I think this is our 4th recap, but
every single
we've talked
episode?
about this before. I understand, like, what she means when she says, "I invited Dennis because we have to repair our relationship if we're gonna work together." We know that the end game is Gigi sees this as a good opportunity for them to work together again, so she can start bringing money in and start putting food on the table for or I guess weed on the table is probably a better way to put that. So you can
Yeah,
continue to do that in a bigger house. She sees what this is, and she says, "I need to repair my relationship with him, but I also need the relationship to be repaired with everybody else. And I need everybody else to get on board because if we're going to move forward with our friendship and working relationship, they need to be on board too." So all of that is actually somewhat weirdly sound logic, but the way she
sure.
does it by just having him show up in Palm Springs without telling anybody, and it's a huge surprise, and then immediately blowing up at this dinner table, it's so funny to me. It's like, why would you think this would go any other way?
Right. Like the premise, yes, I understand what you're saying, but launching it like this is going to do the opposite because
Hmm.
everyone's going to be immediately irritated when he walks in, which, of course, why wouldn't you be? This guy is abrasive as shit. You got to like set the tone, let him know. At least tell Adam it's his birthday dinner at the spot that he got married to Reza. It's like been 10
Yeah.
years almost. Like it's a
I
big
love
night.
Adam, but Adam's an afterthought, and we can see that very clearly.
I loved Adam in this episode. I liked how he stepped up. I thought that he's coming into his own a little bit here. I don't know. Let's jump into the episode because as we know, things fall apart. And now Dennis is explaining the reaction to everybody, which makes no sense. And the problem that we're seeing now is with Sky, right? And this has been slowly getting a little bit bigger, a little bit more obvious. And Gigi storms off because she's irritated at Dennis, which is funny. So she leaves everybody alone with the guy that she invited. And other people are trying to give her some kudos. Like MJ's giving her props for walking away, trying to diffuse the situation. This isn't normal Gigi. Normally she'd rip your head off. Then you got Sky going, well, she never explains herself that this is her problem. It's like, oh boy, we got a lot happening here. And this episode just started.
It is, and honestly, Sky, I wasn't sure what to make of her. She's one of the newbies that we're not really sure how she's going to be able to assimilate to online, or I guess an online presence because she's getting killed online, but also for reality TV. Like, how are you going to be able to portray yourself on camera? We always have
Mhm.
that question for newbies. I didn't know what to make of her. She's in the mix of everything.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
she is pissing people off left and right, saying dumb shit, but she's backing it up because she can handle it. And I like that too. If you're going to call out Gigi, you have to understand you might get some hands in your face. And I know that Gigi's reformed, and we talk about that a little bit later in the episode, but you do have to be a little wary of that. And you're not really sure how that's going to play out. She doesn't really seem to have a problem with it. And I like that because it just kind of adds to the mix of everybody else on this show. Nobody really thinks about what the repercussions are going to be after they say something to somebody who's very clearly volatile as shit in this moment. And they're like, yeah, well, somebody had to say it. I guess it's me.
Yeah, that's her MO. I'll do it. I don't care. And she just
Yeah.
says things. And that's great. We need that person on the show. But Reza points out as Gigi returns, he's putting the pieces together. Okay, let's see. Dad's money's running out. Clock's ticking. You're about to get kicked out of your house. You need a new place to live. Lo and behold, Dennis re-enters the picture. It's like, yeah, obviously we all know what's going on. What I love about this group is they don't hold back. There's not like skies popping off and people are whispering like, "Oh, she shouldn't be doing that." You actually get Reza confront her at the table in kind of a funny way, but he's speaking Persian to her and imitating Sky and saying, "I don't have time for Gigi." So he's dragging Gigi being Sky, and everyone at the table's laughing. Sky's laughing. I'm like, Fuck yes, guys. This is great. Don't take shit too seriously. Obviously, we know this is going to boil over at some point, and we want it to, but we don't need it to boil over now. We just settled down from the dentist stuff. Reza cracks a joke that's a little bit, again, we're riding that line. They love to ride that line, and it works out. And Sky takes it fine. Gigi takes it fine. Everything's good. Let's go to the Red Barn Club, right? Hell yeah, everybody. Rally.
Yeah,
Let's go.
let's go to the Red Barn Club. And I do think that that's one of the tropes that they're kind of putting to bed, where we got into the mix with every single show on Bravo. Every dinner that we had was a catastrophe, but it
Mhm.
was a catastrophe because something would blow up, and we expected something to blow up, and it's completely fine, whatever. But then there would be so many little small fires going on throughout it, and then afterwards, and then we were unable to come back together as the group. If they can continue to do this, where we had our blow up, Dennis and Gigi just blew up at the table. Gigi walks away. We made a couple comments. People have some comments afterwards, and then we're able to laugh it off and move on and go out together again. That's all I'm asking for. It's a very
great.
simple formula.
It's great. It's great. And we're at the Red Barn Club, and you got RJ. He's already hitting on the cocktail waitress because he's not going to be the 11th wheel. Fuck that. He was going for Gigi this trip, but Dennis threw his
I
plans
don't
out the
know if he
window.
was. See, I think
he
he's putting on
was.
a little bit. You think he was? Because I think he's putting on a
Here's,
little bit in his confessionals.
I agree, but here's what I think it was. I think he was putting on, but I think the intention was to act like he was putting on, and that was the game. To be like, oh,
Right.
ha, 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 question mark, maybe?
I think
What are
he
you thinking?
likes the option, and I don't even know if I can put it like in. I don't know if I can classify it as an option for him and Gigi, but I think he likes originally thinking we're the only two single people here. Like, there's a chance that it happens, but I still think no matter what, he's gonna get to this bar, he's gonna start talking to the cocktail waitress, and he's just gonna kind of go a separate way. And then he goes to his confessional. He's like, "Do I want to make Gigi jealous? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe a little bit." I think that's just who he is. I don't really think that he went into this trip thinking, okay, me and Gigi are the single people. Maybe we'll hook up. Like, maybe I'll kind of like put some eggs into that basket. I think he's just playing the game and just seeing what happens. I think we're getting a little brief glimpse into his game as a bachelor.
Well, Reza Jax has quickly become one of my favorite Bravo Lebs for the sole reason that he went and made a reel out of our podcast and
Yeah,
tagged us in it.
I know he's like a digital marketer, so I understand. He's some sort of digital creator. But when he posted that and we got tagged in it, I'm like, who the fuck made this? Because we
Yeah, I
didn't
know.
make it. And then I know for a fact, like I've seen a couple of our clips floating around here and there, but they're never really that great quality. Not taking
Mhm.
a shot at anybody, but they're usually just somebody like watching on a laptop and they're filming with their phone and they post it up on TikTok. This was a legitimate clip that you and I could have made where
Yep.
it panned back and forth on the camera, back and forth to whoever was talking, and then had some captions underneath. Like, he made this for himself. And I love that. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that. Like, I don't feel violated at all.
No, not even remotely. I thought it was so funny, and like we reached out to him. Obviously, he's as cool as he seems. But we get back to the house, not before they're doing our boy Bombsy dirty because they keep flashing to him legit falling asleep. And what do you want from the guy? What do you want from
Yeah.
this guy? He's in his
Yeah, we
60s.
gotta
Like,
stop.
leave him alone.
Hopefully this episode's the end of making him out to just be an old guy. He's
Yeah.
old. We know he is. It's okay. We don't have to do
Stop the
this.
age shaming. We won't stand for it here. But we get back to the house, and I was surprised because, in my mind, and that's also, we're seeing confessionals and side conversations of Sky, and she clearly doesn't really like Gigi. She turns her nose up at her, thinks she's better. Like, that's the vibe we've gotten. But they're sitting outside talking to each other about the dentist stuff. And it was actually a pretty normal conversation. And I don't know why or where Gigi got that Dennis would change it all given their first conversation. He never apologized. He never took accountability. You just squashed it because you didn't want to keep doing it. That's why that settled down. So I don't know what the thought process was. I'm going to invite him here, ambush you guys, and it's going to be fine. Like, everything's going to be fine. And I think that she's so focused on the end goal of getting intimately Gigi back up and running that she's not really looking at what's actually happening. She's trying to gloss everything over, but this whole group's not going to allow everything to gloss over. And that's becoming even more and more clear.
Yeah, and I think that just based on their actions so far and what we know about these people, especially the OGs, It's more just that they all need to have a very real conversation about this. Like Gigi needs to cop to it in front of everybody. Like, yeah, I'm a little, haphazardly getting back into a friendship with Dennis. There's still a lot of things that we need to discuss. It might happen, it might not happen. Probably not going to happen based on what we've seen from Dennis. And then further down the line, we can get back in business with each other because that's my best shot at making money so that I can support myself and my family moving forward. I get the vibe that once we have a group discussion about this, whether it's a sit down dinner or we're doing it at a party or whatever it might be, then we can all move past it. And Sky's a good example of that because we've seen in the last couple episodes, going back to Gigi just sparking up a joint in her backyard, obviously took offense to that. That's a reasonable thing. They have a conversation about it. Like, hey, I didn't think it was that cool that you just sparked up in the middle of my backyard when there's kids around. They can see you doing this. They can come out. Then they can smell it. There's a big problem here. I didn't really want that to be an issue. Gigi understood a little bit at least, or at least saved face by understanding with Sky. And now we get Sky saying, hey, you're going to go out to smoke. I'll come out with you. I'll come hang out. So the progression is beautiful. I like
it's
that
great.
progression. It's not a lot to ask, but it's good because it shows this little thing isn't going to drag on forever. Not every time, which Gigi's going to smoke a lot of joints, every time she sparks up, we're not going to just flash over the camera over to Sky like, ugh, here we go again.
Eyes.
Like, we're done with it. We're good. And we showed that we're done with it. It's not just some absentee bullshit.
Yeah, no, it's great. It really is. And we learn more about Gigi and her anger issues. As we all know, if you've seen Shaw's or even clips of Shaw's, she's been to 2 different treatment facilities, anger management therapy, all this other stuff. And she's genuinely trying to work on it. And I think that you saw that. That's why MJ was giving her props at dinner. Like, oh, wow, like you walked away. That's great. That is progress. So she's doing her best, I think. And sometimes it's all you can really ask for. But everybody goes to bed. And we wake up the next morning. House is trashed. Hell yeah. That's what I want to see. Good night, everybody. Well done. I'm trying to understand the Gigi Dennis thing, right? I really am. I never will. But him coming down from that little loft and being like, yeah, I was in jail up there. I was like, what did you expect? You ruined the night almost. Like, did you think you were going to, he really came to that trip like, hell yeah, we're going to boink tonight. Yeah, baby. No, you're not.
Not only that, but he also thought that he was going to get some sympathy from the rest of the people there. Like, oh, you
Yeah.
guys expected me and Gigi to sleep together, which I'm sure half of them did at least. But to hear you try to garner some sympathy from other people because you slept on a futon, like, what did you expect? You came here unannounced. We don't have a bedroom for you. If you're not going to sleep with the person who invited you, sleep on the couch. Like, you're
Go
lucky
sleep
that
in
you're
your
allowed to
Range
sleep on the
Rover.
couch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, what the hell? But further to your point of people trying to move forward, and I think this is more embodying like what the show is and what they all had to do to be able to move on. They'll squash all those previous beefs because Reza's trying to be okay with Dennis being there because he wants to be okay with Gigi. It's all trickling down from that. So he's like, look, I'm going to be nice to the guy. I want to see Gigi and Dennis have a good relationship, be in a good place. I know she needs the money. So I'll play along, no problem. And I think that everyone's in that mindset, at least now, right? Like this is definitely going to change as, we get to season 2, hopefully season 3, all that stuff. I think their leash is going to be a little bit shorter for bullshit just because I think they want this to work. So I think if we're going to see some crazy shit and the show be okay, I think this is the season for it. And I think that that's because everybody wants to be copacetic so we don't mess this up again.
Yeah, and obviously it draws some questions from, like MJ, what's her relationship with Dennis? Obviously, she's a little bit more lenient on him. You would think that people would look at him like, all right, dude, just don't do the same shit that you did last night. Try to come in. I'm not telling you to grovel. I'm not trying to tell you to have your hat in your hands when you walk into breakfast. But at the same time, I didn't expect MJ to be like, hey, how do you like your eggs? What's going on here? You want me to cook you sunny side up? You want me to flip them? Are these good? Okay. All right, cool, Dennis, you're all good. Of course, Gigi's going to be upset about that. Like, he almost ruined the night. I'm part of this group. Dennis is part of the group by proxy through me. If I'm not cool with Dennis, you guys shouldn't be cool with Dennis. Like, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But in MJ's eyes, it's almost like, well, he's kind of here against his will in a weird way, so I'm going to be nice to him. And that's only going to get
she's
MJ
also
in trouble.
following Gigi's lead, though.
You think? Like, I don't know, because I know that Gigi even said, like, the end of the night was a little bit better. Dennis was a little bit better. He didn't apologize, but he was a little bit better by the end of the night. It's like, that doesn't mean that you have to cook them breakfast without getting any questions asked.
No, I mean more so in like the same mindset as Reza has. Like, I don't know if Gigi has sat down with MJ and said what she said to us on a confessional, and I think
Yeah.
she says it in this scene to other people. She's concerned that everything's getting swept. She's like, I'm not good
Mhm.
yet. Like, we have a lot to still talk about. And Dennis is walking around like, we're all good. MJ's making him breakfast, this, that, the other. I'm saying, I don't know if MJ knows that Gigi is still concerned and still has questions for Dennis. I think she's like, okay, I'll do what Rez is doing. If he's here and you guys want to move on, whatever, I'll cook you some eggs. Did I think it was astounding that Dennis is like giving her exactly what he, yeah, two sunny side up. Yes, no, don't you flip those just like that. Like, if that was me, I'd be like, yeah,
These
whatever
eggs
you
have
want.
so much salt on them. Like, it was like a backhanded
Yeah,
compliment too. It's like somebody just cooked you breakfast, buddy.
exactly. Like, just
Unless he
if
likes the salt. No, I couldn't get a read on that one. Maybe
I,
he really did think it was delicious.
I don't know. I can't get a read on him, nor do I really want to. Like, I'm cool with not understanding
I'm
how that
fine with
guy's
that.
brain
Yeah.
works. But Reza Jax pulls up to the kitchen in his tidy whities. I love this move. It's a power move. I think. See, now I'm confused because you don't think he's gunning for Gigi. I think he is. I think this was a move
I think he's gunning for every attractive single woman in the Valley area.
within a
And I
50
don't think,
mile radius.
yeah, but like if you're gunning for everybody, are you gunning for anybody? If that makes sense. Like you can't single out one person and be like, oh, he's gunning for her when he's gunning for every single attractive woman in the area. You know what
Okay.
I mean? It's almost like
I
if you
just
show
more
me a
meant
little interest, I'm gonna do this. Like I think it's just his personality. I really don't think like we'll have to. For me personally, I think I'm gonna save my judgment on exactly what his game is when I see him actually. Courtney doesn't really count. The cocktail waitress doesn't count. When I see him actually make a move that's
okay.
of import on this show, then I'll be like, okay, that's similar to how he was moving towards Gigi. Maybe he was, but if it's
Okay.
vastly different, then I'll be like, okay, no, this is actually him trying to show interest.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I got you. Well, Sky and Tannen are having a conversation. As we know, they're besties, but there's some cracks in the foundation of that one. And we're starting to see it a little bit more because the conversation initially is about communication between spouses, right? Because they're both having some issues in their marriage. So, Sky, bombshell, how's your communication going? This guy's like, same shit, different day. Nothing's better. Everything still sucks. Like I say one thing, he does something else, blah, blah, blah. I'm glad that Tannen finally asked because I was wondering if anybody ever was. Like, well, do you think that you need to improve on anything, Sky? Like, maybe, just perhaps. Her response is, I know exactly how I am. And I get to the point that I just don't want to deal with it. It's like, well, that's not really what she said. She
No.
she asked you if you need to change anything. And I don't think that you think you do. But your expectations are simply too high. Did she agree to that? I don't even know. Did she acknowledge that her expectations are too high?
In a way that I imagine only Sky can do that, where she didn't really agree to it, but it's clear that that is exactly the case. You know what I mean? Like she kind of beats around the bush a little bit and smiles here and there, but she's not taking any accountability for herself, and she's not going to cop to her standards being too high. But also, they've been married for what 20? I don't
They've
remember.
been
I
married
get them
for a
all mixed up.
while.
They've been married for a while. I think they said 17 years at this point. So yeah, you would imagine that there would be some little thing here. Like this isn't MJ and Tommy where it's like MJ's changing, she's maturing, Tommy's not. There's a huge
Right.
difference here. Bombshot is 65-ish, give or take a couple of years here. Like
Sounds about
he
right.
is who he is. I think he is who he is. And he's probably similar to the guy that you married a while ago. To expect more from him and not even expect more from him, I don't think the communication's her issue. I think her issue is not communicating with Bombshot correctly. But I think that the issue in their relationship isn't communication. It's that Sky wants all of these things and she wants
Yeah.
him to provide for her, where he's just kind of happy where he is.
Exactly. And we get more of that later on in the episode, obviously. But I think the best thing Tannen said was Sky doesn't really care about others the way that she wants them to care about her. And that's
Yeah.
the vibe that I'm getting as well. Her standards are here for how she wants to be treated, but she doesn't really give a shit about anybody there, her husband included,
No.
seemingly. So,
Yeah.
tough place to be.
But before we get back to the rest of our episode, a quick word from our friends over at Robody. And I've been hearing a lot about GLP-1s. I've got a lot of friends that are on GLP-1s, and maybe you think that that one shot is daunting. Well, boy, oh boy, do I have some news for you, because they have a new pill which is more convenient and approachable for a way to GLP-1s if you've been thinking about it. A self-administered shot can be intimidating, but now there's a pill that delivers comparable results. And the new GLP-1 pill has the same weight loss ingredient as the shot, and it packs comparable results to the shot. It can help patients lose 14% of their body weight in a year on average. And that's pretty crazy when you think about it, too, because like I said, I know a lot of people that are on GLP-1s, and they are feeling so much better about their lives. They're feeling so much better about what they're going to be doing moving forward. And Robody is here to help you guys. The Robody membership includes access to FDA-approved GLP-1s, unlimited provider messaging, side effect management, and more, all for just $45 for your first month and $145 a month thereafter. The Robody membership fee excludes the cost of GLP-1 medication. Go to ro.com/bravbros to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill on Ro. That's ro.co/bravbros to get started on Ro. Go to ro.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or overweight plus a weight-related condition with diet and exercise. And now we'll get back to the rest of our episode.
But we have one more conversation between Gigi and Dennis before we get to go drive cars and cool shit like that. And her big thing is that Dennis keeps bringing up the past. And I think that this was another embodiment of the journey from Shaw's to where they are now, because they have agreed either consciously or subconsciously to let certain things lie in the past. We've squashed it. We've moved on. New show, new us, whatever. And Dennis kept hammering home all this shit that Gigi used to do to him. Well, she treated me like shit. She did this. She did that. Gigi's like, look, no one in this group holds that shit over my head. You come in here and you throw all that shit at me and you try to like knock me down. He's like, well, I'm not going to come in here and let everyone badger me. It's like, bro, you crashed the party and they don't like you. There's unresolved issues. Your issues with Gigi, you think at least, are resolved according to you, Dennis. So maybe come into the table with some honey instead of what's the saying? You get more bees with honey than
salt,
whatever. Just be nice when you come in. But instead, you're picking fights with everybody and using Gigi as cannon fodder.
Yeah, and I think that his approach going into this is Gigi reached out to me, and whether he wants to say it or not, he knows that she's doing a TV show. She reaches out to me. Clearly, she needs something from me. So I'm in a position of power. The problem is, it's not just Gigi that you have to get won over. Like, if you just have this one-on-one with Gigi, we're not doing the show, she's weirdly estranged from Reza or hiding all of this from Reza or whatever it might be, then yeah, fine. You can deal with this the way that you see fit when it's just you and Gigi. But as we know from this, with this whole group, when you're invited to this, it's not just, yeah, she came hat in hands. Like, I've got the position of power here. I've got the upper hand. I can do whatever the fuck I want, because this is basically her apologizing and telling me that all of my bullshit was fine and it's okay. And we can leave that in the past, but I can still be an asshole. And in reality, when you're coming back into this group, whether it's the show or not, you do need to be nice to them. You do need to realize if you're going to go off on Gigi, they're going to have her back. And if you're going to go off on Gigi and it's going to ruin everybody's fun time, they're going to go off on you. And it seems like he's like blindsided by this whole thing. Like, I can't believe that these people are meddling in my business. It's like, what do you mean? You made it their business by showing up to Adam's birthday dinner and causing a fucking scene with Gigi. Like, yes, again, I understand if you have this over on Gigi and you know you can do whatever you want because at the end of the day, she wants to get back in business with you because it's her only option. Fine, I get all of that. But if you're going to come back into the group, you need to be nice to them. I don't even think you need to apologize to them or explain anything to them. You just have to be respectful. And if you're not going to be respectful, you're going to get shit for it. So it's not really that hard to fix or figure out anyway.
No, just don't be a dick, bro. Like, it's not that difficult. And Gigi is getting pushed and pushed and pushed. She finally snaps a little bit and she says, I'm smarter than you. And then you get Dennis with like, this is so embarrassing to say this like to a woman on TV. Like, you have a camera in front of you, dude. And he's like, you're smarter than me. Is that why I'm successful and you have no career and this, that, and the sick, dude. Awesome. You're so cool. You're fucking solo in you're a middle-aged fuckboy with
Yeah.
shitty veneers and a bad haircut. You have money. Cool, dude. Like a lot of people in California
Well,
have
that's
money.
that's the other problem. If you feel like you're so above Gigi, then why are you even taking this information? Why are you
Correct.
taking this meeting, if you want to put it like that? If this is what you know is going to happen, you need her just as much as she needs you. You don't want to leave money on the table. So why are you going to do this in the first place? You're not clearly you're not good enough off that you don't need any of this, but you're acting like you don't need it. It doesn't make a
Yeah.
whole lot of sense to me. We can all see through that shit.
Yeah, clearly you either just want to be on TV, you need the money, or a combination of the two. You don't come out of this looking good at
Mhm.
all, especially when you get hit with pack your bags and your belly button and go home. Like that's fucking funny. We're on
Yep.
Gigi's team. Is she acting a little bit irrational? Sure. Do we care?
Sure.
Absolutely not. Not even a
Nope.
tiny bit because you
It's going to
look way
take a lot
worse.
more than this for me to give a shit if she goes off the rails.
Absolutely. And, she turns to the group and she's upset. She's like, he just refuses to take accountability. Bam. Sky jumps in again. Well, you're the one who invited him over. So you're the problem. Gigi still did not go off, though. She's like, look, I made the wrong choice. I missed the friendship with him. Like, I genuinely missed the friendship. So she's still being honest. She has not snapped completely yet. I respected it. And then you have Dennis making fucking ultimatums to MJ. Well, if she wants this, she better do that. I don't know why MJ even entertained it. Like,
Yeah.
that's where I started to question what was going on. Is she doing this for Gigi because she knows she really needs the cash? Or is there something else going on? Like, I didn't really understand why she brought him back in the house. Let him go. Like, see you,
Yeah.
dude.
Again, it sort of reeks of desperation, which is a tough look for anybody. But if that's what Gigi's going to do and she's going to play it that way, Dennis on the flip side, like, stop fucking talking to everybody about this. Like,
Mhm.
you must not realize that your behavior is wrong. You're coming at this group all wrong. You
You're
shouldn't
talking
be
to my guy
involved
all
in
wrong.
you shouldn't be involved in any of this. You shouldn't be pulling MJ aside and giving ultimatums about Gigi. Again, if you handle this one on one and we see this scene play out, it's probably going to be looked at a little differently where it's like, okay, yeah, you guys were both wrong. And yeah, she's holding you to a higher standard because she was doing something that was very similar, but now she needs you. So again, that's okay. That's how that's going to play out. But you keep willingly pulling other people into this shit when that's what your one thing was. Like, if you didn't show up like that, you wouldn't be in this predicament. And you're just burying yourself even deeper, especially to the fans and the audience that are watching this. Nobody likes you.
He's just not a likable person. Like, there's nothing about him that I've seen where I'm like,
No.
oh, I'm glad this guy's on the show at all.
Yeah.
But Reza's talking to Tannen, who again is starting to boil over a little bit with all the Sky stuff, and the expectations come back up. You're putting all of this pressure on Bombshell to live a life that you just simply cannot afford. Like, you want to go live by the Chateau Marmont. You want to go have cocktails with Quentin Tarantino by the pool. That's not the life that you live. You live in the valley, you have
Mhm.
a nice house, you have a good setup. Like, is that good enough? And apparently it's not. And Reza's concerned about it, Tannen's concerned about it, and then Tannen lets slip about the serum, which we
I
watched.
love that this is a thing. This is
Same.
my favorite thing, by the way. The fact that this is what we're boiling it down to. Yes, we've got issues when it comes to how Sky is reacting to Bombshot and trying to force him to buy another house out of the valley because she's so much above the valley. Yeah, we could talk about that for days. If we're really going to focus on one thing here, let's focus on Sky doing the serum on her hands and being like, oh, let me just give it to the dogs. That's
Yes.
fucking hilarious. One, it's weird. Like, it might be animal cruelty. We don't know what the hell that's actually going to do to those dogs. But also, it's a disrespect to Tannen. And I don't even know if Sky realizes what she did. It's almost like she used the dogs as like a hand towel where she's like,
That's what it looked like.
yeah, I don't really like it. I'm just going to put it on my dogs.
Just get
It's a
this off of
problem.
me.
It's a problem in a couple different ways, and every single way that it's a problem is fucking hilarious. And if we're going to really hold her accountable for one thing, it's not forcing her husband to do something that he doesn't want to do. It's not acting like you're better than everybody at the table. It's what you did with this serum that Tannen is trying to launch. And I love that that's the one thing that we're focusing on now.
I do too, but I think it carries more weight than that. I think it just shows again,
You don't
it's a
make it carry
respect
more weight.
thing. Not
Don't
like
don't
that. Not
don't.
like that. No, no, no.
Okay, all right, because it's funny.
Relax. I know. Fucking calm
You're gonna
down, guy.
don't make it not funny.
It
I know
is
what you're gonna
funny.
do.
No, it's just it they say it later, idiot. That's why I'm saying it now.
I get it,
It's just
but
about
for
respect. And I
us,
was
it
just
can be
saying
funny.
that it's like she looks down on the other people in her group as though she's better than the other people in her group. So that's what the vibe gave me when she was wiping it on the dog. Because she even says, like, I'm not putting this on my skin. And she put it on the dog's, which is important because later on she claims that she did put it on her skin. Nuh-uh.
It
We
was
saw
kinda on
you.
her hands a little bit, and then it was on the dog.
Exactly, because she put on her hands, was like,
This
"Nah,
is
I'm gonna go ahead and
this
just
isn't,
wipe
like,
this on the pooch.
meshing in with my skin. It's not going in correctly. It's
It's
still here.
glossy." Yeah,
Let me wipe it off. I want my dogs to smell it smells really good. I want my dogs to smell good. That's a good
yeah.
way to do that.
Just so fucking rude. But Tannen even acknowledges that she needs to start seeing some support from Sky or it's gonna blow up. So we get a little bit of a warning sign, some foreshadowing perhaps, and we get to RJ and Greg talking about the medium because in last week's episode, we obviously saw that very emotional scene where Natasha has always felt a certain way about, Amir losing his wife and her then marrying him, having the life that they wanted originally, and understandably so. Like I can't imagine what it's like being in that spot. So we watched a very emotional episode where she didn't really want to be involved at the medium, but then she does end up going, and we hear a lot of really nice things. It was actually seemingly like a moment of clarity for her where she did feel a little bit more comfortable, but there is more there still. And we get to watch as Amir comments on it. He's talking to Greg and he's talking to RJ, and he's just like, yeah, that was super heavy. And Natasha's been amazing. But we have more questions. Natasha has questions because, does he still love her? Have you ever asked him that? No, I haven't. Like, do you really want to know the answer? Like, all these crazy things that would only happen in this very, very unique scenario. But what I like about Amir is that he's open to having those. He wants to know how she feels. And we've already said that these two are like one of the best couples on all of Bravo. They seem to be the most solid. So you have Natasha who wants to continue the conversation. She still wants some answers just so they're on the same page, so that he understands where she is, she understands where he is, and vice versa. I just thought that this whole thing was like a really mature and a good side by side scene of understanding where they both are, especially because they're both willing to have that conversation.
Yeah, I'm absolutely obsessed with this whole thing. I think this is one of the best little storylines that we've seen on a reality TV show. It's
Yeah,
crazy. It is such a crazy situation. And to have a medium in the midst of all of this, it makes me wonder, especially with the reality TV show filming and everything that's going on, whether or not these two would actually have this conversation. This might actually be
right.
a good thing to come from reality TV. You
Holy
can't
shit.
really say that about anything.
No.
We've never said that before. This might be a good thing because I like both of them. They're very likable people. They're very normal people and they love each other. And
Mhm.
again, it's not a knock on Amir if he still loves his wife who passed away. And
No.
Natasha knows that. But then she's going to feel guilty because she feels like I'm his second love and he's still in love with her. And it's not like he's in love with an ex. He's in love with his first wife who passed away. There's nothing we can do to change that. Now, if we didn't have reality TV and we didn't have this whole group meddling in different things with a medium, we might never have this. And maybe Amir and Natasha never talk about this because she feels like it's wrong of me to bring it up and ask him this. And Amir on the other side is willing to talk about all of these things. So it's almost like this disconnect was brought back together because of reality TV, because of this TV show. And I'm so happy for them because I know, and again, we're 5 episodes in, but you can get a good read on people. They love each other. They've got a beautiful little family, and they're going to discuss this and they're going to be able to get through it and see the light on the other side of getting through all of this and find themselves in a different way that maybe wouldn't come together without all of this going on. So I love this, not only because it's forcing them to have a conversation they might not have, but also because we just got done talking about Sky rubbing serum on her dogs. We
Mhm.
got both of that in about, what, 3 minutes? We just had
Max.
a very serious conversation that I am all in on. And we also have Sky over here. Is she being disrespectful by taking the serum, taking it off of her hands, and rubbing it on her dogs? Fucking incredible. Great TV. 3 minutes of TV that I will love to watch again.
Yeah, and that shows you the depth of this show. The depth of this show. And I think you're right. I can't remember a moment that we've seen that has solidified a marriage more
Yeah.
instead of breaking it apart more. We've seen
I thought you were going to
attempts.
say you haven't seen a moment where we actually looked and said, yeah, reality TV is a good thing.
Both. Both. I mean, reality TV is a good thing for us, the
Yeah.
audience at home, right? Because we
Yeah.
enjoy to watch this. It's very
But
rarely good
yes.
for the castmates.
Unless they're using that reality TV to break out of a relationship or marriage that they didn't want to be in, like Brittany and Jax or Todd and Bronwyn or
Or
something
MJ
along
and Tommy. That's on this show
MJ
too.
and Tommy. That's on this show too. That's usually what we get. Those are the best instances of reality TV affecting people on the show for the better. It's like, wow, you got out of a toxic relationship because of reality TV. I knew what you were doing. You were planning this the entire time. Bronwyn, please speak up about that. But at the same time, I'm still happy for you that you went through that. This is different. This is
Mhm.
actually good for a relationship, and it's going to bring them closer together. And I like that.
Yeah, we love that. We love to see it. Gigi checks in with Adam, and I wasn't aware when he said besties the night before. They really are like best friends. So he checks in with her, and obviously he's a little irritated at the whole thing, but he's not holding it over her head. He's more just saying, like, look, I'm your bestie. So whatever you do, I'm going to support you. If this is the route we're going, fine. But I think it's time for some boundaries. We need to start drawing some lines in the sand here. And Gigi agrees, but the vibe is much more like just fucking get rid of this guy and just be in business. It's business only, no friendship, no nothing else. Is that cool with you,
Mhm.
Gigi? I don't think this is the moment yet where we kick him out, unfortunately. But I did love that scene, and we'll get there in a little bit. But let's go race some cars. What do you say?
I'd love to.
This looked awesome. Like, this is something I would love to. I just want to hang out with this cast. Like, this cast knows how to fucking do it. They know how to party.
Yeah.
They know how to have activities and events. Like, this is what we should be doing, everybody. Take some notes, please. But we go
This whole
race some.
makes
Oh,
me
go ahead.
want to go to Palm Springs in general.
Insane.
It really does. And I've never really wanted to go to Palm Springs before, but now I do because of them. Watching them on this racetrack was fucking hilarious. Watching all of the different personalities collide, everybody who's driving, and then you just kind of bop into Bombshot's car who's going about 35 in
Age
a
shaming.
65. It's just age shaming. Playing that music was just rude. And then Sky gets behind the wheel, and it seems like she's going about 3 times as fast as he is. You got MJ losing her glasses while Greg is driving. We didn't get a lot of Greg in this episode, and that's okay. But
That's fine.
watching all of them just kind of like go back and forth from driving and not driving, just so it can culminate with Reza Jax, who is not an adrenaline junkie. He doesn't want to do these things. He's very in control in his life. But yeah, when I do it, I'm going to go to the max. And this fucking crash scene was hilarious.
The entire sequence.
MJ running on the track after them as he already spun out once, and he's like, fuck it, I'm going again. Let's do it. Spins out with a huge pile of dust. We don't know if they flipped the car. I'm assuming they didn't, which they clearly didn't. MJ running on the track, that seems a little dangerous, but very funny and very drama filled. The golf cart coming out with the siren. Everything was so fucking hilarious. I loved every second of this.
What is it? Days of Thunder? Is that was it Tom Cruise and Stallone? Is that racing movie from the 90s, early
Days of
2000s?
Thunder, yeah.
Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. Because I think there's a big crash in that, and you get the slow motion of the guys running, like, oh no, you had it all. You got the guy in the golf cart, which they dramatized, which I would love to see that just in real time of this thing going 5 miles an hour towards a crash site.
See, I would have loved a little Ricky Bobby action where Reza gets out of the car and he starts crawling, getting after the finish line. I gotta make my time. That would have been great. Any of those things would have applied and been absolutely perfect for this.
It was so good. And Reza Jax just in the car, just yelling as he's driving, and you got a mirror in the passenger seat. What the fuck is happening right now? And then,
But again, I have to point it out. they didn't get mad at Reza for doing that.
No.
Like, we've seen so many shows where it's like, oh, now he's public enemy number one because he put Amir at risk. Like, nobody's mad at him.
They're
Amir's not mad
disappointed
at
a
him.
little bit, but that's it.
They're a little disappointed because he didn't finish the race, but they're still laughing and having a good time. Like, well, that's fucking nuts. All right, let's move on with our day.
Yep. Well, it was a great scene, top to bottom, and we get back to the house for dinner, and Adam takes it upon himself. I love this, to just go up to Dennis and be like, "Hey,
great.
man, did you book a hotel before you?" And Dennis is like, "I already know what you're gonna." He's like, "All right, cool, see ya." And he's just
At least he
kicking the
didn't
fuck
play
out.
dumb. I'll put a check in the pros column, the only check that exists in Dennis's pros column. He didn't give Adam shit. He didn't
Yeah, no.
argue with him about staying there or anything like that. It looks like he may have finally found a bed, although I think that was just Gigi's bedroom and that's where he was keeping his shit. But he knew right away. He's like, you don't have to do this. You can let me down softly. I get it. I'm not welcome here. Yes, I did book a hotel, or I can go book a hotel. I don't really care either way. Doesn't matter to me. But that was so funny because the crew that went in there was Adam and Bombsy. And
Yep.
Bombsy's just standing in the corner like, all right, good call.
I'm here for
that's a good way to
backup.
do this.
I'm gonna sit in the corner and look tough.
Well, because if you think about it, the situation would have been so much different if Reza had gone in with Adam. Like, Reza would
Yeah, I
have
know.
gotten revved up, get the fuck out of here, go after him, try to get some answers. If you have Bombsy in there with Adam, like, Adam's just gonna be clear and cut. Like, hey man, you have a hotel room? Why don't you hit that hotel room? Bombsy, anything? I'm just happy this unfolded the way that it did. I didn't really feel like getting into it, but yeah, we'll see you later.
Happy I
Dennis.
didn't have to raise my voice.
Yeah.
It was so good. But let's get to dinner, and Courtney joins the party. So RJ's got a date, and Gigi, and I like this move too. Obviously, very short-sighted to just surprise everybody with Dennis, but she stands up, says, "Hey guys, I'm really sorry. It was selfish and personal, and I shouldn't have dragged you guys into it. I appreciate everybody here for their honesty." Like, she had listened to everyone pretty much tell her what a bad idea this was. You even had Sky, who was chirping at her about it. She didn't go off on her. She just acknowledges, "You're all right. I was wrong, and I'm sorry." I was like, hell yeah, this is so good.
Cool.
It's so nice. Let's enjoy some nice grass-fed steaks. These are so chewy. Damn. We were so close. We were so very close.
Somebody overcooked the meat. All it takes is one person to overcook some meat. You know this. You just
Oh yeah.
you get a little too well done. Nobody's happy.
Brings
It's
the
gonna
whole
start
vibe.
a fire.
Sure does. And this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Understandably so, because it's the little, and I could hear it like in real time, just the little side chirp. It's really chewy. Yeah, grass fed, but it's so chewy. It's like, why are you doing that? Like, Gigi cooked the steaks. Like, why are we taking this moment is when you're going to finally push it over the limit? Like, just eat the steak. Don't say anything. But
Well,
can't help it.
again, because if somebody else had said it, then she would have been looking at herself like, right? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And then you're still gonna get into some shit. It's almost like she has this value system of, I'm not gonna let somebody else at the table say what I'm thinking first.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking it, I'm gonna say it. And I'm gonna be the one. And I'm sure a lot of times people appreciate that, because I do appreciate somebody in a group who's gonna speak out and be like, yeah, this is what I'm thinking. It's like, oh wow, I was thinking the same thing. It was rude of me to say it, but you know what? If you're gonna say it, I'll jump on board. Why not? I agree with you. It's almost like that. But again, where she is, she has no awareness where it's like, yeah, maybe you still have some things to answer for here that everybody's been kind of talking about around here. Have awareness that don't put yourself in the crosshairs. Don't put yourself out there. Just try to get through the dinner. And if people throw you into the fire, then yeah, go ahead and defend yourself. But if you're going to open up with that, you're kind of fucked.
She kicked that door wide open, and she did it with the topic that people are talking about, her being condescending and pretentious, and bang, it starts coming up. Were you a member of the Persian royal family? And Gigi, to her credit, once again, tries to turn it somewhere else. Or she was bringing up Erewhon intentionally, knowing that Sky was going to take the bait. Now that I just said that, I'm leaning towards that being what she was
it was
doing.
definitely that. Yep, I didn't think about that either, but you're right.
Yep. Nope. That just clicked. Anyway, she tries to give Adam some credit for his tabbouleh. She's like, I think that his tabbouleh
Classic.
is Erewhon worthy. Like, that's how good it is. And then Sky does one of our least favorite things is, I know everything about Erewhon. I know everyone that works there. I know the schedule. I know this. I know that. I know the menu. Blah, 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 blah. No one cares. And somebody says, did I write it down? Oh, yeah. Gigi's like, a yacht is a flex, right? Like, that's a flex, a house, a car. Bragging that you spend $30 on strawberries is not the flex that you think it is. And
Mhm.
now you've opened the door for Bombsy to jump in and be like, look, it's just it's not a good time to get a new house. So we went from steak being chewy to tabbouleh to $30 strawberries. And now Bombsy's bringing up the fact that you want this expensive house you can't afford in front of the entire group, which is going to lead to the obvious destination of you think you're better than the Valley. Everybody,
Mhm.
get her.
Everybody just go after her immediately. And that's offensive to me because I was born and raised in the Valley, okay?
Oh, yeah, Greg.
Oh, God.
Hell yeah,
Get in there,
brother.
Greg. Get in there, Greg. Look, this is the most, and I don't even know if he meant to do this. This is the most he's ever defended his wife on this show. And I like to see it. And I think he truly did take offense to that because he sees the writing on the wall. She's going after the Valley. She's been trying to get out of the Valley for the first 5 episodes of this season. You know what? That offends me. I love the Valley. I am the Valley. If you're offended by the Valley, you're offended by me. And I'm not going to stand for that. Right, Tannen? Tell her about the serum.
Yeah. Well, no, Reza's the one that drops the serum.
I know.
Which is it was so good. But one of my favorite fourth wall breaks that I think we've gotten is Gigi standing up after she's shitting on the Valley going, you're on a show called The Fucking Valley. She's like, so what? What do you mean, so what? That's a pretty important point to this. Like, you live there. That's why you're on the show. That's why this whole thing happened. And her claim that if we sell the house, we can live anywhere. Reza has already told her, like, you have a 4% interest rate on this house. Like, you'd be nuts to sell. You'd be nuts to get rid of this thing. Don't do that. And Reza, I think, hit his limit finally. And he's like, look, either get on the same page or stop fronting. Like, you're spinning a web of bullshit. And you'd think that you grew up with a silver spoon and a trust fund. And Sky's like, oh, I am not that one. I am not the snobby one. And the entire table reacts. Reza gets up and guffaws at her. Gigi's like, dude, like, I love you, but are you kidding me? What are you talking about? And that's when, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that was the most obvious reaction. And I that's the flip side of what you said. We hate when people are like, I know everybody at Erewhon. I know everybody who works there. I know their delivery schedule so that I can get in there quickly. All right, give it a fucking rest. That same person opening up and saying, I'm not that pretentious. I don't say those things. That's the icing on the cake right there, because then it's just a free for all.
Oh, it was so good. Like, I didn't mind it. Like, I loved this entire sequence because I was like, you just proved you were snobby not 30 seconds ago. Now, please try to defend yourself about not being snobby because I want to hear what you're saying. And that's when the serum comes up. Reza pulls that one out. Tannen doesn't really want her to, but I think she did. I think that was like a feigned, like, no, don't. But I really think
I think it was like a not now almost, because like I haven't really gotten through it. It's almost like when Tannen was telling Reza about that, she was just kind of reliving that moment and didn't realize how disrespectful it was that she wiped it on the dogs. And now she's kind of coming into terms with that, where it's like, okay, maybe that was really disrespectful. Let me think of some other things that she's done that are disrespectful. And I do appreciate that approach from Tannen, but it's not going to work in this group. Once you let one thing slip, even if you don't realize that it's going to be something brought up later, you do have to act quickly. You do have to compile a lot of shit if you're going to go after this. And this group is going to bring you into it because you're the person who gave that information. We're not going to have any of that bullshit where it's like, I heard that you did this. Well, who'd you hear that from? I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. No, we're going to bring you right in. Come on, Tannen. Let's talk about this. I heard that you did this. Let's discuss how disrespectful that is.
I love that. And I love that we're holding people's feet to the fire immediately. And weirdly enough, Sky lies about putting it on her skin because I think she said that, like, I put it on my face, then I put it on the dog. It's like, no, you didn't. You even said in a confessional, I'm not putting that on my skin. And then he rubbed it on the dog. But then she blames Tannen for it somehow. It's like, that's what? how is it her fault? I literally wrote bizarre because it was such a weird move. And then people are pointing out, like, Tannen, where's your jewelry? She's like, ha, have you ever paid for it? Yep.
Yep.
Well,
Mhm.
did you pay full price? What is no? Like, you
Yep.
gave me a friend's discount, but I still paid for what are you talking about? And then Sky inadvertently implies that by not paying full price, Tannen is not being fully supportive of Sky's business and
I like
Sky's
that though.
endeavors.
I
I
think
do
that's
too.
incredible. If you
I'm
were
with
true
that level
friends,
of
you would
petty.
pay full price. You would definitely pay. When I offer friends and family discounts, you should turn me down
You
because
should
you
say
should be
no.
supporting me. I'm not here supporting you with jewelry on discount. You should support me by paying full price. I like that. That's a very sick and twisted way to live.
Yeah, no, it's perfect for reality TV, that level of delusion. It was just so funny to watch this entire thing play out because of this defense is ludicrous. It's
Yeah.
insane. And that's when Greg really jumps in about the Valley stuff and calling her pretentious. And she's like, well, I don't really care what other people think. I think she means I don't care what Valley people think. So,
Yeah.
Greg,
Yeah.
you grew up in the Valley? Gross.
Oh, and you're still here?
What a loser. That's why I go on trips with your wife. And it's glaringly obvious that Bob Shed is saying nothing because everyone's saying what he wants to say to her. So he's sitting there with his arms crossed, letting this whole thing play out, letting everyone else speak for him instead of defending his wife. Gigi tries again. So I have to give her credit, especially knowing her past, especially knowing she just told us in this episode about her anger issues, her working on it. I don't blame her for what happens next because she's like, look, maybe it's in the delivery, right? Sky, like, just
Sure.
say, like, I love the Valley. It's just not for me. And she's like, I've said that many times. The tone just ever so slightly was a
Yeah.
little elevated. And now Gigi has had enough. And she gets up. And I would honestly, maybe I'm splitting hairs trying to defend her here, but she didn't get in her face. She got in the back of her
No.
head.
Yeah. That
So-
look, that's the level of defense that you're going to catch with us with Gigi on
Oh,
the
yeah.
show because she is a absolutely maybe the most necessary evil of a show that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's great. And again, like, am I Team Sky? No. Do I respect the way she handles this? In a villainous way? Yes, I really
Kinda,
do.
yeah.
Because she
I
gets
kinda
up.
do love it.
It was good. Like, she didn't skip a beat, dude. She was like, I will drop you like the napkins I clean my nose with, and doubles down and fake blows a tissue and goes, tuh, and
Which,
drops
by
it
the
on the
way,
ground.
just proves how pretentious you are if that's how you're thinking of people. Like, that's
Yeah.
so funny to me, and she doesn't care. It's
Nope.
almost like we're gonna get a spin zone on this whole thing where it's, "I'm not pretentious, I'm just classier than you are." And I
Yes.
can't wait for that one.
I can't either. You literally walked around the party saying that she's beneath you, that other
Yeah.
people here are beneath you, that you're better than, that you should be in a big
Mhm.
fancy. By the way, she's like talking about a $2 million house not in the valley. I've seen $2 million houses in LA. They're not nice. They're small and you need a lot of work on them. So I don't know what she's doing.
Just all
Like,
about the zip code, baby.
yeah, I guess so. But
Is that 90210?
Beverly Hills, that's where I want to be.
That's where I wanna be.
Living in Beverly Hills. Oh man, Weezer. Hell yeah, brother.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it ends on a to be continued note and just no notes on anybody. Like,
It's
we got a
fantastic.
great villain in Sky. Like, she's doing a phenomenal job doing whatever the fuck she's doing. Gigi as the antagonistic protagonist is a lovely trait to have. And then
Mhm.
you've got everyone else in the mix just adding to this incredible ensemble of drama. Like, I have zero notes. We had funny moments, we had fights and altercations, we had emotional moments, like actual emotional moments, we had marriages getting tested but getting closer. Like, what if you're not watching this? I don't know what you're doing with your TV time.
Yeah.
You are wasting precious time to get in on this early. Stop waiting.
How about
Let's
some
get some
questions?
questions.
Yeah, how about that? First one up here from Mrs. Brad Pearson. Is anyone else afraid of what Gigi would be like if she was not on pot? Well, You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that because she is. And she says that. She's very aware. She's like, thank God for pot. I just need to go calm down. Let me go smoke a joint. Like, cool. All right. If that's what it takes, go for it. I don't care.
I also just love when people say it like that. It sounds so funny. Like, oh,
On pot.
she's on pot again. Like, that's so good.
God.
Thank you.
From Lorraine promo, should Gigi even be on the show? No growth at all.
Absolutely.
Well,
What do you wanna-
she should be on this show.
Of course she should be on this show.
This
Carrie
wouldn't be a
DeFelice.
show without her.
Yeah, as Carrie DeFelice, 100 out of 10, no notes. That is the correct take. Gigi right now is driving this show forward, and that's saying a lot because anybody else could be driving this show forward very successfully. She's just taking the reins so far.
Blackbeard 601. Why does Sky film if she hates everything about the Valley? Beverly Hills would eat her alive. That's the line. We know if she went to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I think she would have one season. It's very similar to like what Amanda's doing, where it's very delusional, but she wouldn't be able to continue that. She's actually perfect on the Valley. And this is why. This episode is exactly why, because we do need people that hate the Valley and think they're above it, and yet they're on the show and they live in the Valley and they're never going to leave. Like I do think that Sky and Bombsy will find some sort of compromise in a couple of years. They'll move somewhere and she'll just act like she's better than everybody, but she'll still be bopping in and out of the Valley and it'll be very funny.
Where did Danny and Nia move?
I don't remember.
Shit. That's where
Yeah.
they'll end up. Somewhere around there. That's where they go. But
like, I don't think that Sky wants a big house. She just wants to be out of the
area
Valley.
code.
That's the only
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
no, I think you're right with that. But as Casey Danzig says, Sky's the worst. I hope she never leaves the show. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly. You got it. From Out of Office Mama, great point. Love how the men are not afraid to show their emotions and how they support Amir. We love that shit. We love bros supporting bros. It's awesome. Yeah,
It
they're
is
great.
the best.
Everyone's great.
Yeah, and it looks like the other comments are pretty much just people saying like Olivia Ragusa or Olivia Rag USA. No question, this lady just sucks about Sky. And again, like the other person said, she sucks, but she's perfect for the show.
Yep, exactly. Everything else is similar questions that you guys asked. So make sure you get your questions in next week if we didn't get to yours. But yeah, dude. I mean, the questions say it all. You guys echoed exactly what we're saying in the episode, and that's why we love you so much, and that's why we love this show so much. But I can't wait. This is one of those shows that I get done the episode, and I'm like, damn it! Like I can't wait for next week, especially because we got it left on a to be continued, so we didn't get to see scenes from later. So yeah, I'm jonesing for this next episode to come out. But phenomenal. But that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope.
Well, bros are out of here. Nailed it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I
As
had to think
promised.
about it first. That's why I paused.